Hey guys, it's Marissa and thank you for watching this week's video. It's going to be a really short, quick tips video. I know it is March, which means ITR is due at the end of March. It's going to be a little daunting. I'm going to talk about ITR for MedSci because that's what I'm in, and I am in my third year, so it is my last ITR. But I know ITR can be really stressful and confusing, so I'm just going to go through each of the years and tell you some tips and what you can do and how the process kind of works. ITR is intent to register. First year, you probably don't know what this is. This will be your first time ITRing, and it's really simple for your first year. If you're in MedSci and you want to continue in MedSci, then you just ITR for MedSci 2. If you're going into Gen Sci for switching programs, then you, of course, ITR for those different departments. First year, really simple. Don't worry about it. You're good. For second year, this is kind of where it gets complicated. The first thing that you're going to want to do for ITR in second year, I'm sure you've already thought about it a bit, is read through the module. And there's a lot of different modules in MedSci in terms of the HSPs, and a really great way to figure out if that's a course that you like doing is to read the academic calendar. So the academic calendar, if you just look up, for example, pathology, UWO academic calendar, it will tell you all the courses that you need to take in order to get into that HSP, which will show you what courses you are going to take if you're in that HSP. And that is where you can go in and you can click on the courses, look up the syllabuses on the syllabi, look up the syllabi online, read what the courses you'd be taking is about, and if that's something that you're interested in. A lot of people shit on IMS, and like honestly, everyone in third year doesn't care. Every time someone mentions that they're an IMS, everyone around me goes, that's like honestly good for you. That's always what I say. IMS is very respectable, and don't be afraid of what people have to say. At the end of the day, yes, your undergrad degree matters, but it's like the grades that you get in it and what you learn from it and whether you're going to enjoy it, which is going to tell you whether or not you can do well in it. But at the end of the day, if you are doing a module that you enjoy and you find interesting, you're probably going to perform better in it than something else. So if IMS will open up those doors for you, then definitely go for IMS. Another really useful thing is if you're like on the, like you have like 3 or 4 that you're interested in, you're not really sure yet, to go onto the different science clubs and use their ITR resources. Obviously, these clubs are promoting their own module, but it can be really helpful. They have a lot of good like student testimonials, some tips. I know that my club is doing, which is UPaw, it's the pathology club. We're doing an event with microbiology, and that's to talk about some of the different HSPs within our department. So going to events like that, listening to what students in the program have to say about it, parts they like and parts they don't like, can be really, really helpful. In terms of actually selecting your HSP, you have 2 choices, of course. So for your first choice I really recommend you do your HSP. Pick your favorite HSP. Second choice, obviously, you do your second choice HSP. What they do most of the time is that if you don't get into those HSPs, they will put you into a double major of both. So that opens up doors to both of those classes, which is really great because if you still want to do one of those HSPs after taking some of those courses in third year, you will have those doors open to take them in third year still, and then you can then decide with the courses you've taken already in third year to continue on to try again for the HSP. Although it like is a lot more complicated to ITR for your third year, it really only matters in MedSci for your 4th year. It of course does, you need to have those courses open to you in order to take them so that you can have the right courses for your 4th year if you do get your HSP. But literally, like, don't fret if you don't get it. It's like they make it sound like the end of the world, but it really does not matter. My outlook has definitely changed a lot since first year. I was so stressed about it, but like whatever happens, you're meant to be in what they put you in. If you're not interested in HSP, which is very respectable, you can do your double major right off the bat. You can also do a major and a minor, and you can also do an HSP plus a major, which is even more work, I feel like. But those are all your options. I think a lot of people just really shoot for the HSP. You don't have to do that, but a lot of people do. Another thing I will say, going into third year, is do not be afraid of the averages chart, especially the averages chart from my second year, so last year, so I think that was 2020 to 2021. Those averages are insane. And why was that? Because things were online. So it's not a very accurate representation of like the grades that you would need to get in for this year, because of course this year's different, but again, every year is different. So don't get too overwhelmed by it. Use it more as like a goal of like, okay, this is like a number that I can shoot for, and like help you decide what you need to focus on in your second year to get those grades. That's pretty much second year, which is like obviously the most stressful one. But at the end of the day, the result that you get once the adjudication comes out is not the end all be all. You have another chance, third year to go into fourth year. And like, I wanted an HSP, but I'm like really happy with the double major, especially if like med is your path. Your undergraduate degree matters very little. I know you of course want to have the HSP, and it is really great if you do want that research experience for your capstone like project. It's not really called a capstone project, what's it called? You know what I mean? The thesis project? I don't know why I'm blanking, but you know what I mean, that big project in fourth year for research. Third year, then again, it's basically the same thing. Kind of already talked about it, but apply for your HSP. Again, if you want it, even if you don't think you're gonna have the averages, why not? The averages do tend to go down from third year to fourth year because the programs are harder, people drop out, people switch. So like, you may as well apply for your HSP again. And then if you're okay with your double major, then do that again. If not, do your second choice like as another HSP. Pretty much all I have to say. ITR I know can be really stressful, so I very much understand what you're going through. Hopefully this video helped a bit. I know I talked really fast and didn't go too into depth, but I wanted to keep it a little more simple. ITR already is so confusing and stressful. If you have questions, let me know. I hope you guys are having a good March. I hope you guys have a great St. Patty's week, and I'll see you guys